Yeah, you're live, pal. Caswell,
Yep.
you're live.
Oh, I'm live.
Yeah. This is
I
going to
was
be the
waiting for.
best show ever, by the way.
Well, I want to thank you for tuning in to Ask Caswell. It's been a hell of a day for me. I don't know how your day was, but certainly type it in the comments. This distance learning thing is fun, but it gets old, and the kids are home, and it's fun, but just a lot of stuff going on. I think everybody's a little stressed out. Everybody's a little stir crazy, and that's why every night since we started this COVID thing, we have been coming to you live, and we've had some great guests since we started, from Denny Lane to John Ford Coley. We had the Lieutenant Governor, and coming up, we have Russ from the Association on Friday night and Jonathan Edwards on Saturday night, who will sing Sunshine Go Away. And next week, we're looking for Tom Wopat from the Dukes of Hazzard and Susan Cowsill. So we're having a great lineup of guests. And I don't want to talk politics today because I just got done with a 2-hour budget meeting from the town council, which was crazy. And we got Zoom bombed, where all these people started like putting up like all kinds of swears and stuff. It was crazy. Hey, Billy's watching. Billy, I want to have you on this show, so maybe you can private message me, because you got to be a guest on this show, because I've seen you before, and I think you're great. So Billy, I see Gina's watching, and Kim, and my mom, and we have lots of people on already, and Donna, and Andrea, and Almeida, and Bill. But tonight we have a very special guest, and before I bring him on in his bathrobe, I want to tell you about this guy. He is a legend. He was in a band called the Escorts. He was in a band called the Swingin' Blue Jeans. He grew up in Liverpool, England. He's one of 5 people that is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame from Liverpool. The other 4 are John, Paul, George, and Ringo. He then replaced Graham Nash in the Hollies, and you know the songs from when he was in the band. He Ain't Heavy, He's My Brother. All I Need Is the Air That I Breathe, and Long Woman in a Black Dress. He's played in Musquamaket like 10 times. He's a great friend, and let's bring him on now for a laugh. Bring on Terry Sylvester from the Hollies.
Yeah, I am in my robe, and I'm on the Lazy Boy, and I'm in the dark because I am 73, and when you're 73, a bit like Joan Collins, you need to just be a little in the dark side of the issue, you know. How are you, Casa?
I'm doing all right, Terry. It's very good to see you, and I thank you for coming on our show tonight. This show's become quite a thing, and we've been looking forward to your appearance tonight, because Westerly knows who you are, because you've played here like 10 times.
I did, and you know what? How's your restaurant going? You do the best fish and chips, or lobster sandwich or something? Absolutely brilliant stuff.
It's good stuff, and you've played at Musquamaket. You've done some festivals with us. You've done some Town Beach shows. You played at the Olean Center. I know Kim from the Olean Center is watching right now. You played there like twice. So
I did. No, everything's fine, but are you ever going to pay me?
First thing I wanted to do is ask you to please tell the Tom Jones joke.
The Tom Jones joke. It's not really a joke. It's a true story. I had to go to the doctors a couple of weeks ago. Nothing serious, just a checkup. And she said to me, because my doctor's a lady, and of course, you know, when you get to my age, it's better to have a lady doctor, you know, for those special moments. And she said, is everything okay with your life? I said, oh, everything's fine. I said, it's just that I can't stop singing the Tom Jones song, She's a Lady. And I said to her, is that normal? She said, it's not unusual.
And that's the joke you told, by the way. So first of all, let's get a little history. So where did you grow up?
Liverpool, England.
And you played at a place called the Cavern Club. How many times did you play there?
Oh, hundreds. But yeah, let's get back a little bit. I grew up in a place called Allerton, in a road called Hayden Road, and the next road was Forthland Road, and that's where your hero Paul McCartney and his brother Mike used to live. And now, by the way,
you're younger than Paul.
I am, thankfully. Yeah, no, but seriously, no. And I remember being in Liverpool, in my home doing housework, not housework. I never do that. I was doing homework, and I remember seeing Paul, walk by and he waved because we were kind of friends. We were in the same, we lived about 100 yards away, and he was with this absolutely gorgeous girl, with ginger hair. And it was actually Jane Asher, who's the sister of Peter Asher. And all of a sudden, I was 14. I wanted to be 19. But honest to gosh, she was absolutely gorgeous. But then he went and spoiled it all, didn't he? He cheated on her, and so she dropped him.
But Peter's still out there playing, and you work with him once in a while. You've been on some bills with him.
Oh, I love working with Peter. Denny Lane, obviously. I know you've had Denny on. Denny actually said to me I shouldn't come on the show. It's embarrassing. But I thought, listen, I've got nothing else to do. I'm confined to barracks at the moment.
So tell us your thoughts on replacing Graham Nash and the Hollies in 1968.
Oh, well, that was the as you said, I was with the Escorts. We couldn't get hit. We couldn't get a hit record if we couldn't. We just couldn't do it. But I got lucky. Joined the Swinging Blue Jeans in 1966, and then in 1968, Graham, my friend Graham, he decided to go and join. His California drug addicts, and then that was the best thing that could have happened. I told you shouldn't have had me on, Caswell. This is gonna be bad.
Listen,
no.
After your whole Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction, nothing's going to top that.
Well, no. Anyway, no, but it was the greatest step. When the Hollies asked me to join them, and then I did join them, it was the happiest day of my life. It really was, because they were like, along with the Beatles and the Rolling Stones and the Beach Boys, they were the top 4 groups in the whole world. And I grew up in Liverpool with all the lads, Jerry and the Pacemakers, Billy J. Kramer, and Peter Noon, and everybody. And they were all coming to America and telling me all these stories about what was going on in America. And I was pea green with envy. And I just couldn't, I thought, to be honest, I thought it had passed me by. I really did. But it didn't. So I joined the Hollies, and the rest, as they say, is history.
And when you got in the Hollies, I noticed that Graham Nash joked that you had more hits than the Hollies after he left.
Well, yeah, I don't, obviously, Graham and I have got a bit of an issue because of the Hall of Fame thing. But at the end of the day, Graham and I, 6 months before I joined the Hollies, I went to see Crosby, Stills and Nash. And Graham, invited me into his dressing room and in the green room afterwards, and they were absolutely fantastic. So it's all this publicity thing, it's all just winding people up. But the Hollies before I joined were fantastic. After, well, we were just as fantastic. And I said the proudest day of my life. After that, it was obviously going into the Hall of Fame in 2010. I mean, that was just something which was way out of my reach about 4 years or 5 years before. And I'm so happy about all that,
How long did you stay in the Hollies, Terry?
Too long. No, sorry. 13. Is that Ben laughing? Or you?
It's me.
No,
Ben's off now. You made him laugh all day, my producer.
Oh,
Ben.
no, but just for the folks listening who are thinking, what the hell's going on here? Ben is the producer, and he's a lovely boy. No, about 13. Oh, he's back. Ben came back. Did you see that?
I did.
Oh my God.
So you did 13 years, and
yes.
And so now tell me about that tour, right? So Long Cool Woman in a Black Dress was recorded. Obviously, your friend Alan Clark sang lead. What are you drinking? Gin and tonic?
Brandy and ginger. You know that.
I know.
You should know. I send you out to the liquor store when I come up north. You know that.
I know. So tell me about when Long Cool Woman in a Black Dress came out. You guys recorded it. and then the lead singer took off, and you guys had to go make appearances, and you had to sing it.
Well, actually, this is quite interesting, yeah, because what happened was, you're going back, in the day, and see, Alan Clark, fabulous singer. I used to stand next to Alan singing harmonies in the studio, and of course on the road. He to me, I don't want to insult him by saying a pop singer, but I would say he's the best pop singer ever. I really do. If you listen to the Hollies record, he was always the lead singer, and he absolutely fantastic voice, and a great guy, and me and him used to share. Unfortunately, we used to share rooms occasionally, and I don't think is this program. No, I think we better not discuss the things that go on in rock stars' rooms. But no, So what happened was, he was always getting told.
Probably not much lately, though, for you, right, with the coronavirus and everything.
Well, that I'm going to come back to that, because I would like to. This. Let's do the Alan Clark thing, because I would like to come back to the coronavirus, because I've been through a few disasters in my life, but this is way beyond anything. But let's get back to Alan. So we did an album. We went in the studio and we recorded an album called Distant Light at London Studios, not Abbey Road, which George Martin owned, the Beatles producer. And then what happened was the album came out, and Germany, the company in Germany called Hansa, they decided to put one of the songs out on the A side. Now, they put Long Cool Woman on the B side. And what happened was the DJ, some German DJ in the middle of Hamburg or somewhere, he was playing the A side, and basically a bit like me, was about to fall asleep, and he was too lazy to go and put another song on, so he flipped whatever was the A side over, and Long Cool Woman came on. Well, all of a sudden, all the lights came up on his console. People asking, in German, obviously, asking, what is this song? That type of thing. But no, they wanted to know. So the DJ called the record company the next day and said, listen, I think you got the wrong side. He said, people are going nuts. So it became number one in Germany. Now, in the middle of all that, Alan Clark used to have some very bad advisors who would say things like, you don't need the rest of them. You are the man. You could be a solo star. You don't need the others. Well, he listened to them, didn't he? But the trouble is, he listened a little bit too early, because the record company Epic Records in the USA decided to release Long Cool Woman. Well, it went to number one. Alan Clark is not in the Hollies anymore, and he wrote it. So Epic says, come over, do a 3-week tour. So somebody had to sing Long Cool Woman, and I did, because we just got a new singer from Sweden called Michael Rickfors, fabulous singer, but he couldn't string 2 English words together. So if you've ever listened, you've listened to Long Cool Woman. It takes somebody to sing that song, because it's just ridiculous. But anyway, so I ended up singing lead. And on all the TV shows we did all these shows. And what was the one? Midnight Special. We did that one. And no, but you know what? Great times. But as I said, I don't want to talk bad about Alan or Graham or anyone. Certainly not Tony and Bobby, because I was very lucky to be in the Hollies, to be honest. But I think they were very lucky to get me as well. How about that?
I like it. Now fast forward to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the whole induction thing. Tell me what went down. You got on, you told your Tom Jones joke, but then there was a little issue with who was going to do the singing.
Well, no, the point was, the whole Rock and Roll Hall of Fame thing was, we all got letters saying when to get there. Our air tickets were paid and everything like that. And I was told to get there. I think it was a Monday night or something, but I got told to get there on the Sunday night for rehearsals. Well, when I checked in the hotel, I can't think of the life of me what it was. The Waldorf Astoria. How could I forget that? I asked, "Is there an envelope for me?" And I was told no. And I didn't understand that because I was supposed to do a rehearsal the following day. But unfortunately, Graham Nash took control of the thing. He didn't want anybody involved except him and Alan, because they basically they didn't really form the Hollies, but they tried to make out they do, but they didn't. The Hollies were in existence, you know. And anyway, it doesn't matter. They just bummed me out. And the sad thing was, I was hanging around with a crazy blonde at the time, so I really didn't give a shit. Excuse me, did I swear?
It's all right. It's the internet.
That's cool. I didn't give two shits. So I'm serious. So anyway, so that's fine. So we get to the actual induction thing, and there's tables all over the place, and ABBA's there, and they're all on the same table. You know, the Bee Gees are there just as guests, all on the same table. And guess what? Alan Clark and Graham Nash and their families were on a table about 100 yards from me, Bernie Calvert, who's the bass player, and Eric Haydock, who was the bass player, sadly passed away now, and our people. And we were the only ones that were all split up, but that was Nash. He just wanted it to be the Alan Clark, Graham Nash show, and I think he fucked up there, to be honest. Did I swear again?
You did. So on stage, and you can see this on YouTube, it's quite brilliant. So the guy from Train is singing a verse because Alan wasn't really in good voice, and you came on and just took the mic and blew the second verse right out.
Well, I'd had enough. You see, what happened was, you know, we got our awards, and that was fine. You know, I tell the stupid joke and everything, and everyone's saying, you know, people go on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, they go, "I'd like to thank my music teacher, you know, Miss Jones. You know, she taught me everything I knew." I thought, I'm not interested in that. So I just told a stupid joke. Anyway, so then we come off stage because Alan and Tony, Tony wasn't there, Alan and Graham, with the band from, the band and the lad with the thing, you know what I'm talking
Train,
about.
yeah.
No, not him. I'm talking about the backing band were fantastic.
Oh, Paul Schaefer.
Oh, well, yeah, fantastic stuff. Anyway, so I just thought that the deal was they were going to sing Bus Stop and Carry On. Now, that was fine because I wasn't on Bus Stop or Carry On. And I was just ready to just watch from the side. And then we were supposed to go to like a green room thing and have photographs taken. So I'm standing there with Bernie and Eric. And next minute, I heard the intro to Long Cool Woman. I'm thinking, shit, what's going on here? So I said, Bernie, I've had enough of this. Come on, let's get on there. And Bernie, on the shy side, he said, no, I think we should stay here. You know, I said, get lost. So I went on. And I didn't grab the mic from the guy. I just whispered in his ear, I'm singing the next verse. That's all.
Well, you did a good job.
Well, thank you. And then the weirdest thing was, when I stepped back and just started like trying to dance, Graham whispered in my ear, "Isn't this great?" I said, "Fuck off, it's not great."
So right after you did that performance, you called me, by the way, to tell me what went down. I do remember that very well.
Caswell cooked the third. I always call you. How's your dad?
My dad's good.
Good. And by the way, Caswell Cooked the Third is the best merch seller that's ever lived.
Yes. See, you're telling people, because when I was on the road with Chad and Jeremy, and then you saw what I did for them, and then I started trying to. I would sell every last CD you brought.
Well, you know what you
and
do.
Even those old pictures that were all like crinkly and stuff.
Thank you very much. You got Caswell. You have no shame. No, the first time I met you was when we did the casino, and your dad came. Yeah.
Yeah, that was way back.
Yeah, and you went round, and said, "Have you got any merch?" I said, "Yeah, I have." And you went round, going, as people are waiting to come and get autographs and things, and as we sit there like you do, you meet and greets and that. I'd sold every CD because you were going around going, "Terry Sylvester CDs, Hollies hits, $20. There we go. By the way, the IRS don't tune into the show, do they?
No, and right now you're forgiven anyway. So you played here.
It's all ready. When you do those things, it's all ready.
Prepaid.
Thank you. Oh no, but I do file taxes.
Good. So now tell me about. First of all, where you live right now? Where are you calling us from?
I'm calling you from about 400 yards from the Atlantic Ocean, in St. Augustine Beach, Florida.
So now you played here a lot of times. The best night, I think we can say, was the night that you played on the same bill as Jefferson Starship, and you came out 10,000 people, and you were in the cool Hawaiian shirt, and you blew the roof off that place. There's video out there to prove it, but that was like, in my mind, one of the highlights of my bringing concerts to the beach. It has to stand out as a great night for you too.
To be honest, it's one of my highlights, and of course, one of your friends videoed it in a really high def video, and we had the criers, of course, who were backing me up, and yeah, I mean, the sound was great, as you say, 10,000 people. At the end, when I did, well, I could still do it. I did the, I thank all the US and the UK soldiers who are out there keeping us safe. I still believe that, and I still mean it. But that was a standing ovation. It was a standing ovation.
It was great. And then one of the highlights also was one time we were in Ohio somewhere with the Criers and Chad and Jeremy and some other people, and we went out to a bar, and I think I got you to sing "Long Cool Woman" karaoke.
Yes, you did, and I will never forgive you for that. Absolute disgrace.
It was good. I mean, you can't do any worse than the rest of the people in the room.
Well, yeah, no, you've got good memory.
I do.
Caswell, you've lost weight. You look good.
Well, thanks. I mean, I dropped a few pounds, but
no, you did. Well, maybe not from below, but you dropped absurd from your head up. That's fine.
So, tell me about when you go out on stage and you sing the old songs. When you're looking out, and I only had one night because it was one night we played with you when we came up for that Superstorm Sandy benefit, and we played with you at that club. And I remember I was on the keyboards next to you when the first notes of "Long Cool Woman" came on, you could just feel this energy off the crowd where they're like, "Oh my God, that's it." And I felt that just standing next to you. But what's that like when you're out there? Back then, even now, whenever it is, when you play some of those hits, what do you see off the audience?
Well, first of all, I'm happier on stage than I am anywhere. I mean, I get nervous walking down the street. I don't get nervous on stage. I'm serious. I was born to be on stage. It is the most amazing feeling to sing those hits now, especially, as we're getting on a bit. And but to look out the audience, obviously my eyes aren't too clever these days, but I can, depending on the lighting, I can see them. But if you want me to be honest, I'm not really looking to see what's out there. Like, are there any fit girls out there?
I remember when we were doing that show, and it's like the guitar thing, and you're just strumming along, and I'm just playing, and you leaned over and you're like, look at the girl in the second, look at the blonde.
Yeah, you. And by the way, I am a serious musician as well.
Are you still single?
I am.
Okay, so there you go. You can find Terry on Twitter. He won't come to Facebook.
No, hang on. I'm not particularly looking for anyone right now. I'm trying to keep my money.
Oh, have you been married before?
I've been married twice.
My friend Mia Burns just chimed in and she said, "I'm fit."
Well, could you look? The way you sell my merch, you can start collecting. No, I'm kind of happy. I'm happy. I'm still active, but I'm happy. Will you stop it?
It's not me. None of the other guests I've had on for the last 2 weeks, but of course, I don't know them probably as well as you.
I thought this was a serious music show. And
It's not.
I've been doing a lot of research about stuff. Okay.
Oh, okay. Well,
No, let's get back to some serious. Let's get back to serious, but nice. Okay.
What research have you done that you give us some statistics?
Well, vital statistics.
How's your blood pressure these days?
At the moment, not too clever. But no, it has been good. Well, actually, there's not a lot going on, really, if you think about it.
Yeah, I know.
Nothing to get so excited about. I'm not talking about my sexual life. I'm talking about just life in general.
I mean, obviously, for musicians, every tour has been canceled. All gigs have been put off. So you obviously...
Well, that's a bummer because I love being on stage. But let me tell you, what's going on now with the virus. It's let's not joke about this. It's a real mess, obviously. But I thought I'd gone through. I mean, I went to see a football match. You know, I love my Liverpool football club. You know, I love Liverpool, and I went to April the 15th, 1989. I drove from London up to Sheffield to see them play Nottingham Forest, and that was the same. And my ticket was just behind in the Leppings Lade end, and 96 people died right in front of me, and I can still hear the screams. They got squashed to death. I can still hear the screams of people dying at that game. Now, I thought that was bad enough. The game was cancelled. I drove back. I think I had a sky blue Porsche 911 in those days. How about that? I have a Ford Escort now. What about that? Stop it. No. So I thought that was bad. And then there was 9/11. That was the next thing. But I wasn't in New York. I was in Nashville driving back up to Canada. I thought that was bad. I think this is absolutely trumped. I shouldn't have said that, should I? No, it's trumped the whole thing. It's absolutely scary. I mean, I'm a 73-year-old old age pensioner, and I'm scared to go out, to be honest with you.
What are you? I mean, what are some your other musician friends? I mean, everybody's just staying at home. Nobody's trying to do anything. Are you thinking about ever writing some songs in your solitude here?
And the solitude's the only game in town. That's a good song. No, that's a great song.
Ben thinks we need to change this to the Terry and Caswell show.
I was thinking
seven nights a week, he said.
I was thinking more the Terry and Ben show, to be honest with you. I don't know what you think.
We'll bring him on then. Here he comes. Here he comes, Terry.
All right, guys, welcome to the.
We can't hear him.
I took Caswell
off.
Now you're on the other side, Terry. You flip-flopped.
Oh dear.
That's all right. So listen.
I don't have any long trousers. No, there's a good one for you. Do you remember when we did that show at that really nice hotel?
Oh, the Ocean House.
The Ocean House. And,
yep.
And I did the sound check with you, and then next minute, he said, you said, what are you wearing tonight? I said, I'm wearing this. He said, you can't win. You can't wear shorts. This is a 25-star hotel, and it's a real posh dude. So you drove off, and you bought me a pair.
I did. I went to JCPenney and bought you a pair of pants. You guys, you're in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. You couldn't bring a pair of pants to a gig.
I know I couldn't. And you bought me a real nice pair of chinos, which I've still got. But that was 10 years ago. I can't get in them now.
And how about those Hawaiian shirts I got you?
Oh, yes. Oh, no, they were good. Yeah, your friend. I think I've still got them actually somewhere. But no, you're looking slim and everything. I've actually lost a bit of weight, actually.
Couldn't tell. You're sitting in the dark.
Well, you're not going to see either.
Because you had no wrinkles in the dark, no wrinkles. You look like you did back in the 70s.
You know what?
Now you're in your 70s.
I am, and now I'm in the 70s. That's a good one. No, but I have to tell you, I'm on this new diet. It's a new diet.
Yeah.
It's called the Jack Daniels diet. I managed to lose 2 days last week.
So you used to now for a decade you were able to tell the joke. We started out in the 60s, now we're in our 60s.
Yeah.
What do you do now? Did you ever take up the joke I offered you?
Well, no, you did offer me one about the 70s and the air that I breathe, but I haven't done shows for a while, so I need to do something.
Because I think the line I came up with was our last hit was in the 70s, and now we're in our 70s.
Yeah, but I did a show recently up in Buffalo, and I think I did. I actually lied. My teeth. I said, I started out in the 60s. Now I'm in my 60s. But the audience didn't buy it. They knew.
because they can do the math. Now let's ask a serious question now.
Go on.
Did you ever think, I mean, in the 60s when you were starting out that you'd be doing this in the year 2020? Did that ever seem so strange to you?
We never thought we'd be alive in the 70s in those days. But Caswell, you know, I've never smoked a cigarette and I've never took a drug, but I drink like a fish. But I'm actually so happy to be still. Stop it, Ben. Stop laughing. I did. Hang on. Speaking about drinking like a fish, a brandy and ginger. And you, what are you drinking? Coffee?
Tea.
Oh, that's very nice because you thought we've got a Brit on. We'll do some tea. Anyway, it's April Fool's Day.
So everything you said was a joke, right?
Well, no, I was going to say that the real guest tonight should have been Paul McCartney.
Yeah,
but you got me.
That's all right. I'd rather have you because you're funnier.
I've got another joke for you.
Okay. I hope it's not dirty.
No, it's not naughty. It's not a naughty one.
All right.
Two cannibals in the jungle eating a clown. And one says to the other, "Can you say something funny?" Oh, Jesus. You didn't get that, did you? Two cannibals that eat people eating a clown. The clowns make people laugh. And the one said to the other, "Can you taste something funny?"
Oh, taste something funny. I get it now.
Yeah, well, that's the trouble, with the British accent and everything. So, how's your political life going until tonight?
Well, after this, I'm screwed. No.
I think it's over. Your hopes of Washington have gone down the Swanee.
The Swanee. Yeah.
The Swanee River. And do you know something?
What?
That whole thing about the Swanee River. We used to sing that at school years ago in the 50s. Way down upon the Swanee River. Well, guess what? I live about 5 miles from the Swanee River now. I can't believe it.
So do you go there and sing it?
No, I just had a swim.
Now, listen, you talk a lot. We hear a lot about, you spend a lot of time out by your pool.
I do.
Have you made a lot of friends in your area?
No, I've met a lot of enemies.
What? What?
Anyway, can we go back to music on that?
Yes.
One? I don't want...
By the way, if you're just tuning in, we are talking to Terry Sylvester from the band The Hollies, and a huge group, lots of hits.
Stop it!
you had a lot of hits. I mean, it was a big group, man. It was a big friggin' group.
Do you know what? If people ask me, how did you get into the music business and why did you do it? The answer is very simple: for the girls.
And how did that work out for you?
Pretty good.
That's what I was going to ask you. Have you ever been married?
I think you asked me that before, Caswell. You're losing your mind. Twice married, twice divorced, sadly. But you know what? My son Peter from my second marriage is actually tuned into this, or he probably fell asleep now. But he's tuned in Brighton, where he lives, and he's a lovely boy. And I was over there, and he's coming over here. Once Brits are allowed to fly, he's going to come over here, and we'll have some fun. But no. He's probably listening. He's such a lovely guy, and he's better looking than me. I tell you.
Well, that's a tall order.
Thank you. Oh, won't you know? No.
But
Bum.
No, but you know what? Looking at these old pictures of you. Oh, by the way,
my God.
By the way, John just said Terry would be fun to drink with.
John who?
My stepfather. He's watching.
Oh. Well, any night, because I drink every night. So that's.
And let's see what some other people are saying. Hang on.
Oh no.
Hang on. Let's see. I'm gonna look.
Are the IRS on? Oh, no.
No. Kim said it was back when we talked about the concert. She said it was a great concert. Chad said you are on my wall of fame. Then we have someone that said, let's see. Hang on. Love the stories, real stories. Elliot said it's brilliant. By the way, Elliot is the one that's managing Gilbert O'Sullivan's publicity in the United States on his tour.
Oh, nice.
James said, hi, Terry. Your songs have been the benchmark for my playing since way back when. My all-time favorites, Long Cool Woman in a Black Dress, and He Ain't Heavy, He's My Brother. And Jay says, hi, Terry. Love from Australia watching.
Oh, now. So... Is Gilbert O'Sullivan coming over to tour?
He was supposed to come last month. We had him on the show about a month ago for his first U.S. tour in 40 years, and obviously he's had to postpone it now. So,
do you know what? One of my favorite songs ever, Claire.
Yes.
The moment I met you, I swear. No, I mean really good stuff.
Unbelievable.
No, I don't think I ever met him, but we probably crossed paths in London. Here's a good one for you, Marianne Faithfull.
Mm-hmm.
This is not dodgy. This isn't Mars Bars and Mick Jagger and all that nonsense. This is a true story. Did a TV show. What was it called? Mike Mansfield produced it, and we did a TV show, and she was absolutely bombed. And where are you going?
I'm going up to get a charger for my phone.
If you're going to go if you go in the washroom, can you turn the camera off, please?
I'm not going to the washroom.
Are you listening to my Marianne Faithfull?
I'm listening. Keep talking while I get my charger.
Your charger? Oh, okay. So we did this TV show, and Marianne Faithfull was on it. I think David Bowie might have been on it, and I got, I was on my own. This is when I did some solo stuff. I was still with the Hollies, but I did some solo stuff with Mike Mansfield TV show called Supersonic. It was called Supersonic. So it's on YouTube. Anyway, so I'm in the elevator coming down from the dressing room. And Marianne Faithfull gets in with her so-called manager or whatever. And she told me to fuck off. And I said, why are you saying that, you ugly slut?
Okay.
And by the way, for some reason, that was the end of the conversation.
Good. We're gonna stop with the F-bomb.
Why did she tell me to fuck off? Is she serious?
Hang on, I gotta get my iPad. Hey, keep talking.
I will. Anybody out there who wants to sue me, Caswell Cook is the third in Westerly, Rhode Island. This is the man to deal with.
Kristen just texted in and said, "Can Terry come back tomorrow night?"
Oh, you know what? That is nice. That's nice. Well, hey, I've got nothing else to do right now. Why not?
Now listen, my mom's watching, and so she doesn't like the swearing, so we have to.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mrs. Okay. Caswell. I'll settle down on that. I'll settle down.
So when you left the Hollies, let's go back
yes.
to the music now. You left the Hollies in like 1980 or 81.
Something like that.
What was the reason you took off? I mean, did you leave? Did you have disagreements with the guys? What
No,
happened?
no, not particularly. Alan Clark, again, he had some crazy guy who thought Alan Clark was too good for the Hollies and said, you know, you can do better on your own. And I think what happened is Alan, I think he was having a few issues with his voice, but that was okay. He was still a great singer. He decided he didn't want to tour anymore. Now, I love being on stage. Listen, this is why I got in the business when I was, 14 years old, was to go on stage. Youth clubs, working men's clubs, and that's what I wanted to ever do, was just be on stage, to be honest. And he suddenly decides he doesn't want to tour, and there was almost no reason for us to be even in existence, because if we're not touring, and we'd way past our sell-by date, 1974. And now we're talking 1980. Yes, we were having hits in Germany and we were still doing shows, but Alan decided he didn't want to tour, and me and Bernie, the bass player, decided, well, there's no point bothering really, and that was okay. Hey, Caswell, the good thing is I own 20% of all I've ever been on. That's the good thing about the Hollies, and that comes back to a guy called Robin Britton, who was our manager. He did the best deal ever. Even Peter Asher, who Peter Asher's, James Taylor, Linda Ronstadt, but he's like a major producer in the business. He knew the royalties. He knew the royalty things that we get from Warner. Well, it used to be, I think it's AMI, it's now Warner Chappell. I don't know. As long as the money comes in, I don't care who sends it. But the thing is, Peter Asher said, "Oh yeah," he said, "you're known as the one who got the best deals after Paul McCartney." How about that?
That's pretty good.
But we own it. We own it. We own our own masters. Nobody owns it except us.
That's crazy stuff.
It's lovely stuff.
Now, you did a lot of touring with the guy, your friend from the band Bread. Can you tell us about?
Well, that's what happened when I left the Hollies. I teamed up James Griffin, who was David Gates's partner in Bread. When they split up, he did a solo tour back in the 70s, and he opened up for the Hollies. He opened up for us, and I made friends. He's such a great guy, and what a talent. I mean, hey, he wrote, "Love, look at the two of us, strangers in many ways," and he got an Oscar for that. And I stayed at his house a lot down in Nashville and then down in Memphis, and think, do you know where he used to keep the Oscar? In the downstairs toilet. So when you go and have a wee, you're staring at an Oscar. I hope your mum doesn't get pissed off with that. That's okay.
No. Let me give you a couple of other. Chad Morrison has a question for you. He wants to know, do you know David Hasselhoff?
I don't actually, but I know who he is. Why did he ask that? I mean,
I have no idea.
Wasn't he a big? He was an actor, but he's a really big star in Germany.
I know. Well, maybe because you were talking about your hits in Germany.
I don't know David, but I know exactly who he is, of course.
Grace says, Ben, your next challenge is how to do time delay and beep, or else develop a rating announcement before the show begins, only when Terry is done.
Well, I think, yeah, take the swear words out, and any editing, Ben, please. Yeah.
And then Kristen says, wait, is Terry fit? Mia and I could duke it out.
Oh my God. I think you better clear that one off.
Andrea says, oh my God, Caswell, this is the best show ever.
Well, I hope it's got nothing to do with me. I mean,
it's got everything to do with you, because you're sitting at home with a cocktail in the dark in your bathroom.
You know what? Listen, I can hear the ocean. I can see the ocean. Nothing's happening. There's no cars on the road. Nobody on the road. Nobody on the beach. They've closed the beach. They've closed the beach. That's Don Henley, isn't it? Don
That
Henley
was
did
Don
that song.
Henley.
Oh, fabulous.
Can you just listen? Can you just give us one quick line? All I need is the air. Come on, just give us one line.
I can sing it if you want.
Yeah.
Okay. Excuse me, just clear my throat. No, I haven't got the virus. I'm just clearing my throat. Sometimes all I need is the air that I breathe and to love you. All I need is the air that I breathe, yes, to love you. Wait for this. All I need is the air that I breathe. How about that?
There you go. We got a Hollies song.
Are you giving me the wind up now?
No.
Oh, okay. You know, we did a show once in England. There's a comic called. Hang on. There was a comic called what's he laughing at? There was a comic called Ken Dodd from Liverpool, and we did the Ken Dodd show, and they had a guy who was. Well, I think the word is gay these days, but anyway, he was a dancer, and his name was Lionel Blair, and he had the Lionel Blair dancers. Now, the Lionel Blair dancers, he was the leader, but the rest were all fit women with legs up to their armpits. So what happened was, it was live on the BBC. You think I'm bad? So Lionel Blair is doing his dance routine, and then he finished, and then Ken Dodd came on doing a comic routine, and there was a guy at the side giving him the wind up, basically, saying you've got to finish. The news is on at 9 type thing, and he just wouldn't finish. He just kept on telling jokes. The audience were going nuts, and then he told the best joke I've ever heard. He said, there's Lionel Blair. He said, what a great dancer. He disappeared up his own pirouette. He disappeared up his own pirouette. How about that one?
I like it.
It doesn't mean anything, but it's so funny. Yeah. Anyway.
Hey, Ben, I want you to do me a favor, Ben.
Go on.
I want you to put Terry on the screen by himself and just give him at least a full minute to entertain everyone without me. Go for it. It's all you, Terry. You have the floor.
Oh, okay. Are you going to answer me some questions?
Nope.
Oh, there are. I've got a bit of light on me now. Okay. Hang on. No, I'm not looking that clever at the moment, but that's okay. So what are you doing typing? What do you want me to say something?
I want you to just pretend you're hosting the show for just a minute on your own.
Oh, I can toast the show. I can taste. I can do that. Yeah. So welcome to the Caswell Cook III show. We're a complete maniac from Liverpool, now residing in St. Augustine, Florida, near the beach. Not complaining, but being serious in this very serious time. We need to all think very closely about life, because no one in our generation has been through this. Now, Second World War, America were very involved, but nobody really attacked America. Now, from what I've heard from my parents, living in Liverpool, in 1945, or that was when it ended. But those 6 years, I mean, Liverpool got absolutely smashed, and it was a war. Liverpool was a seaport. And what they did is, obviously, the Germans came over in their planes and bombed Liverpool because it was a port. And they wanted to stop, boats coming out of there. And look, a war is a war. And I as I said, the Hollies were so big in Germany years after we had our last hit. And I absolutely love Germany. I love the country. I love the Germans and everything. So there you go. Have I done enough now, Caswell?
Yes.
Thank you.
I wanted to see how you do hosting your own show. That's all I was.
Listen. I can do anything. As the actor said to the bishop, I can do anything.
Well,
I think you're gonna get taken off the internet. Never mind anything else.
I think Zuckerberg's gonna take me off Facebook. Yeah.
No, I think your hopes of Washington have just gone down the drain.
Yeah, I don't care. I think the people watching needed a little comic relief tonight. But listen, in all seriousness, Terry, thank you for being with us. For the
you're giving me the wind up now. You're telling me to go.
Oh, you probably need to refresh your cocktail.
You know what? I haven't had a chance because I've been chatting with you for so long. Caswell, love you so much. You're such a good lad. Love to the family. And hi to Ben and Ben's dad. Tell Ben, Dad, to get well. And I will be up in Westerly if I'm allowed to come to Westerly again.
You will be.
You sure?
Yes, I am.
When you did the interview with Denny, was it more about music?
He was like a human jukebox. He just kept playing. It was great. He brought his guitar on and it was like all playing and stuff.
Oh my God. And I've come on like a comedian or something.
That's all right. We like it, Terry.
Oh, so man. Listen,
yeah. If this virus thing goes on too much longer, I'm gonna have to bring you back on the show one night in a couple weeks. So just stay tuned, keep your cocktail refreshed.
Yeah,
and we'll be in touch with you.
Just tell Ben to cut out all bad words.
Right, we will. All right, Uncle Terry, we will see you later.
Caswell Cook III, known as Kazza, Paul McCartney's friend.
See you next time.
See you next time, pal. Bye.
Bye. Okay. So, that, my friend, was Terry Sylvester from the Hollies. When you're driving down the street and you have like the classic rock station on and Long Cool Woman in a Black Dress comes on, now you have a completely new way to hear that song, because now you know one of the guys behind all of that music. And this was probably one of my best. This was the best show we've done.
This was the best show ever. That was incredible.
You like that, Ben?
Did you notice that I literally changed the name of the show?
I did.
Yeah. You're done.
Did you notice that we got more comments tonight? Just kept getting comment after comment. Shane's probably going to kill us that we were doing swearing on Westerly Live. I'm so sorry.
I think he swore last night on Westerly Live. I think, Shane, if you're watching, leave a comment.
Oh, man, that was like... Uncle Terry's crazy, isn't he?
Yeah. Should we play the music video? I have the music video ready to go.
Yeah. We'll play the music video.
All right.
And let's hear Terry Sylvester from the Hollies. Is this the Musquamaket video?
Yeah.
All right. This is one of his best performances. Check it out.
The road is long, with many a winding turn that leads us to who knows where. But I'm strong enough to carry He ain't heavy. He's my brother. So on we go. His welfare is my concern. No burden is he to bear. We'll get done. Oh, I know he would not enclose me. He ain't heavy. He's my brother. Without leaving at all, and I'm leaving with sadness that everyone's heart isn't filled with gladness. For one another, it's a long, long road from which there is no return. While we on the way to there, why not change? Why not change? And alone doesn't weigh me down. He ain't heavy. He's my brother. I'd like to dedicate this song tonight to all the US and the UK soldiers who are out there keeping our country safe right now. They ain't heavy. They're our brothers and sisters, and come home soon, come home safe. And thank you for being such a wonderful audience. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of the show. He's my brother. He ain't heavy. He's my brother. He ain't heavy.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
There's no eloquent way to shut that off, but that was awesome.
Yeah, that was Misquamicut, man. That was one of our music festivals that we did back. I started those festivals in 2005. We did them for 5 years before we morphed it into Spring and Fall Fest. But that night was a night that I remember it so vividly. And he blew everyone away. And I think it was because I don't think everyone really quite knew who Terry Sylvester was necessarily. But when he sang those songs, I mean, how do you not? You know, and you saw the audience. I mean, they were just, standing and it was amazing stuff. That was probably 2008. So gosh, that was 12 years ago. I've known Terry for a while now. As you can tell, it's one thing when you say, yes, this rock star is my friend or something, but he clearly is. Like we've spent a lot of time together, and we went on the road together, and I had to babysit him more than once and drag him out of more than one bar. And and it was a fun time in my life before children and before when I was younger, and I would go out on the road with some of these rock and roll guys from back in the day, and it's been long lasting friendships. I mean, I've been at least 15 years with Terry, which is pretty darn cool. And I apologize for the F-bombs that he dropped. But I figure there's probably not a lot of children watching the show tonight anyway. So,
True.
you know,
Watershed.
and I think in this
That's
this
the right term? I don't know.
yeah, I think in this this situation we're in, it did me some good to just laugh, and I hope you all laughed and found him completely hilarious. And I hope we get him back to Westerly soon because he's that funny. And I think now all of you guys have a little more insight into him and how great he is, and how funny he is. So he doesn't
Not
do
only-
Facebook, so you have to follow him on Twitter.
Not only he called earlier today to do a test, which usually the tests go, hey, it works. Okay, bye. He talked to me for 20 minutes about God knows what. I don't even remember, but I laughed the whole time. And he demanded that you get Paul McCartney on your show, which was I was like, he was like, have you had Paul on? And I was like, who? He's like, Paul McCartney. And I was like, Terry, I don't know Paul McCartney's number. Like, I don't know how to get a hold of him. And he was like, don't worry about it. You should have asked, So he was very determined that you needed to get Paul McCartney on your show.
Well, if we could get Paul McCartney in this show, it might be a ratings boon for us. So, Paul, if you're out there, I'll take you.
And then 20 minutes before the show, he came on so much earlier than you did, and he just messed around. His lights were perfectly lit, like fine, just like you are, before you showed up on the screen before we did like the pre-show, and then he shut everything off just to mess with you.
And he was in his bathrobe.
He was.
With his chest hairs hanging out. I don't need to see it. I don't need to see that.
When he finally turned it on, his phone was just pointing directly at his chest.
It's just, yeah.
Oh, he was amazing. All right. Good night, Caswell.
All right. So tomorrow night, we're going to have Russ Giguere from the Association. Great band. Everyone knows
That's
it's
true?
windy.
I thought he was Friday.
Oh yeah, Friday.
Yeah.
I meant to tell you something. What we're doing tomorrow night, Ben.
Oh, okay. Tell me live on air.
We're gonna take a night off.
Oh my God! Really?
So maybe you can make up a little thing that says we're taking the night off. We'll see you tomorrow.
I literally can't wait to tell my friends.
We're going to take tomorrow night off. It's been a long 2.5 weeks. However, we've been doing this every single night. So tomorrow night we're taking off. And then Friday we've got Russ from the Association. He sings Cherish. Everyone knows it's windy. Then Along Comes Mary. And what else is it? Never My Love. Great songs. And Russ was the lead singer on those. So Russ is going to be on Friday night. It's going to be awesome. And then on Saturday night, Jonathan Edwards. Can we recruit Terry for tomorrow night? So Terry could, I'll tell you what, Ben.
I'm in. If Terry wants to host the show, I'm 100% in.
You could call him tomorrow if you want. If he wants to use my channel. You know what? No, that's a bad idea. Let's not do that. We will bring, but I'll tell you what, in a couple weeks, we will bring Terry back because everyone loved him so much. And then Saturday night, we are going to have the one and only Jonathan Edwards. You all know the song, Sunshine Go Away Today. Don't feel much like dancing. So that is going to be a treat on Saturday night. Yes, Mia, when we bring Terry back, we'll bring you on the screen too, because he definitely he likes all the ladies, so you piqued his interest.
Should we end with a prayer?
I don't know what to say anymore. What?
Did you end with a prayer tonight?
I have a prayer. I do. All right. Let's. I always end with a prayer, except I forgot last night. And people were like, "Where are you?" Because I love the when you guys type in the amens or the amens, the amens, the amens at the end. Keep watch, dear Lord, with those who work or watch or weep this night, and give your angels charge over those who sleep. Tend the sick, Lord Christ. Give rest to the weary. Bless the dying, soothe the suffering. pity the afflicted and shield the joyous, and all for your love's sake. Amen. Thank you so much tonight to my guest, Terry Sylvester from the Hollies. Thank you to all of you for staying with us this whole time and for laughing with us. It's what we need to do in these times. We're going to take tomorrow night off, and we'll see you Friday right back here at 8 o'clock with a new episode. Good night, everybody. Good night, Mom.